Hey everybody, thanks for listening to the El Toro's podcast, exclusively now on Anchor.fm. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Here, let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on things like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can also make money from your podcast, which is always a plus, with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast right at your fingertips and in one place. I can't believe it took me this long to switch over to Anchor.fm, but I couldn't be happier now. So, get yourself started and download the free Anchor app now, or go to Anchor.fm to get started.
Welcome everyone, episode 36 of the Capital Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Sean O'Brien. You can catch us here every Wednesday at youtube.com. Just search Capital Wrestling and go to soundcloud.com/eltorspodcast. Find us on Twitter at Capital Wrestling without the G. Follow me on Twitter at Sean Neutron. Any business inquiries or sponsorships or talent looking to get on the roster, go to capitalwrestling@gmail.com. If you'd like to search our merchandise, go to prowrestlingtees.com. We got whatamaneuver.net. Also, Amazon selling our stuff. Just go to tinyurl.com/capitalamazon. We have a brand new Capital domed t-shirt in 5 different colors: black, white, gray, blue, red. So, also, if you'd like tickets for our next show on December 29th at Hoboken, New Jersey from the Hopes Community Center, go to tinyurl.com/capitalww4. Also, go to brownpapertickets.com. Search Capital Wrestling Presents World War IV. Go to Groupon.com, a nice 2 for $20 deal. Just search Capital Wrestling. If you want to win tickets, if you play WWE 2K18, just go to the Create a Wrestler and create anybody on the Capital Wrestling roster, and the best one tweeted to Capital Wrestling or emailed to capitalwrestling@gmail.com will win tickets to our next show on December 29th. So can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Plenty of possibilities. We saw an example of Ken Dixon. He wasn't a big fan of it, but there's plenty more superstars on the roster for you guys to design and try to win tickets. Also, catch us Monday nights at gfqlive.tv and Twitch. We just announced this week our partnership with them to stream live events on Twitch starting December 29th for our aforementioned Capital Wrestling Presents World War IV. Now, there's a lot going on with that card. We cannot wait to get to it. The announced matches we have for them right now, the match 0 is going to see Matthias Glass take on Jason Sinclair and Chris Benet. Chris Benet is managing that match. Jason Sinclair is wrestling. Tag team action is going to see the NRA represented by Bo Crockett and Mark Bravura, the Memphis Mofo, taking on Isaiah Wolf and good-looking Hank Flanders. The Master of Excellence will be making his masked debut versus the also debuting Wildman Congo, so that's going to be a pretty nice battle of the hosses. The Packy Chip Death Match presented by Packy Chip will see Jeff Cannonball taking on Logan Black. We're also going to see a 5-way dance for the number 1 contendership for the Capital Wrestling Championship. Anthony Gangone, Matt McIntosh, LSG, the Colossal Mike Law, and also really good Ryan Zane will be in that one. And the Bastards, including Matthew Ryan Shapiro, will be taking on Team Capital in a Survivor Series style matchup there. That's going to be fun to watch. And Ken Dixon, the Capital Wrestling Champion, will be defending versus John Kerman. He was named the Capital Wrestling Champion at the last show. And the returning John Kerman will be looking to take that belt away from Ken Dixon. So I can't wait to see what happens with that matchup. Really unique contrast of styles there. And there'll be plenty of words to be said by both men. And we have 2 really special guests today. One of which will be in that 5-way dance for the number 1 contendership of the Capital Wrestling Championship. He's really good Ryan Zane, and we're also joined by his tag team partner, the Kid, Vinny Pacifico, and they make up the North-South Connection. We're very lucky to have them, so thank you guys for coming on the Capital Wrestling Podcast, and welcome to the show.
Nice to have us here.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Hey, man, I thought it would be the best thing to get you guys both on here at the same time because, what's better than that?
better than that?
What beats that? Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, because of course, I would have questions for both of you. If I was just talking to one of you, I'd be like, "Well, what's the other guy doing?" And that'd be kind of awkward. So, Ryan, what have you been up to lately?
Every week Ryan Zane's just putting in the work. Every Wednesday I like to kick a little unknown butt down at the CZW dojo. You can check that out on YouTube. Really just getting primed and ready for World War IV. And I hang tight and keep in touch with him to hear about his comeback.
Oh, and he's definitely
Yeah,
got.
that's my brother Ryan. Ryan, you're killing me. I'm so proud of you.
and you should be. And I'm just here to be a role model for you as you ascend, as you start to return, as you maybe eke that comeback. I'm just going to be a role model. We are getting ready for that Pacific comeback.
Oh, hell yeah, you know it.
That was a good one.
Really soon.
So really soon. So, Vinny, what have you been doing in terms of rehab and just working out to kind of get that leg back to full strength?
I've been doing a lot of rehab, a lot of leg exercises, a lot of squats. And hey, squats are the best thing for the legs. I'm telling you right now, nothing beats squats.
Wait until you see this boy's thighs. The boy is low-key thick. The boy is a thought. The boy is a pog.
If Ryan, if you say,
Ryan.
Please don't say dumb thick. Please don't say that.
No, nothing dumb about it.
Oh man.
No, just quite. He's got these horse legs. It's unbelievable. It's like he's become his own pony.
Yep. No longer moist.
We are early in the podcast, going off the rails, but it's a lot of fun. I don't mind it. But right now, guys,
There's no rails on this journey, Sean. When you get Ryan Zane, it's an open adventure.
we can't put you in a box.
No, parts of me sometimes, but that belongs to a song and a place and a time, Christmas mostly.
We can't ever put Ryan in a box. Never.
Oh no, and don't you dare back Zane into a corner.
Now, Ryan,
Why?
are you a glass case of emotion right now?
Well, no, not at all. I'm not even inside of a glass case of emotion. I just let that all flow out now. It's the love that the Danger Family Sanctuary has taught me to open up, to express, and to show the world my power and love.
So that's the influence it's had on you, Vinny. What do you feel about the Sanctuary? What's the end game for the Sanctuary?
I don't know. I feel like I was kind of forced to be in the tag team. But,
you were welcome.
We're winning. We're kind of winning. So we're winning. We are winning. I won't lie. We're doing good. We're getting better. So why not leave the team? Like why leave the team if we're doing so good? So I kind of guess I like it.
Vinny, young in his career, may be a little short-sighted to the long end game goal of the Danger Sanctuary, but when you get there, my brother, my son, when you get there, and when we get there, and when we're shining, holding the gold, looking at our reflections in the face of the belts, you'll know that it was all worth it.
You know what? I think you're right. I'll put this trust into you, and we got this, brother.
See, you're not as dumb as the rest of the locker room says you are, and I know that.
Thank you. And it's not just don't count Vinny out. It could be don't count the North-South connection out.
That's right, brother. That is nice. Hashtag nice.
Now, guys,
Hashtag.
Vinny, when you're outside the ring, do you tell the ref to not count you out?
I try to, but they do anyway.
Oh man, that's kind of bullshit.
I know, right?
No, they should not be counting you out. You should be immune to that.
I should be. I am immune to it.
Well, once the North-South connection is rocking and rolling in tag team action, I think I'll be sure to stop that referee and be able to remind him, don't count Vinny out. And we may get a lot of assistance from our loving and adoring fan base.
Yes.
Now,
we have an amazing fan base.
Originally, but you announced the injury at the first show, and from there it's kind of, we've seen Ryan be in singles action. So how does that affect the chemistry of the team in terms of just how close-knit you guys are and stuff like that when you guys can't be in the ring together?
Well, I, for one, have been able to watch Vinny grow and fight through this process. I've earned a newfound respect for Vinny Pacifico. And through this time, and thank you. Thank you for reinstating my ability to see into the future, to believe in myself, to believe in our goals. I know that we are more prepared now, more well-rested. We've been able to scout the rest of the tag team division better than any other team. Yes. And Vinny will echo my sentiments. And that is our team unity. These are the things that are going to drive us to the gold.
Yep. And what's the gold? The gold.
Yes. It's going to be a golden pathway. We're going to take a golden chariot. There might even be some golden ponies. I don't know. I'm getting excited.
So
I need to chill. I need to chill and take a sip of this disco lemonade right now.
No need to chill.
So,
no need to chill.
Gosh, you're right.
You're too chill. So I'll get you the hype this again. If that makes sense. If that even is a word.
Vincent, you are the yin to my very, very mellow yang.
Am I?
Yes, we balance each other perfectly. I think that's what other teams fear. You may have a mismatch in tag teams in the Capital Wrestling division. One guy is too big, the other is too small, but no. Vinny and I fit together like jigsaw puzzle pieces, like two ships passing in the night, and then just barely colliding, the cruisemen greeting each other at the helm.
We fit like peanut butter and jelly.
I think there's no question to our unity, to our ability, and to our knowledge. The only question that might linger on the mouths, and the ears, the eyes, and the minds of Capital Wrestling fans and management is if we're going to produce. But he and I both know. The North-South connection knows. Timmy Danger knows. Neil Sharkey knows.
Yeah.
The valid future and potential behind the North-South connection.
Yes.
So
very true.
You guys both fit like Legos, and you were looking to be the Legos under the feet of the rest of the tag team division.
You know it.
Under the feet. You kind of try to outline us like some sort of underfoot figure. No, we're going to be
the
crowning jewel.
The implication was not underneath them per se. It was just to be that the effect you have on them will be pain and suffering for them.
Mr. O'Brien, I'll be minding your words.
Here's the thing, though, guys. As a tag team, the goal is to get gold for the tag team gold. But now, since you have this singles match coming up, you've got the field right there. Is a hell of a field you've just been added to for the #1 contendership of the Capital Wrestling Championship. So we've got LSG, we've got Matt McIntosh, Anthony Gangone, and Mike Law, and yourself, Ryan's really good, Ryan Zane. So
and then me on the outside. Yes, me helping.
Oh, you got Vinny on the outside as your support right there. But what are your guys' thoughts on?
I do need a good moral support every now and again. As a self-proclaimed soft boy, it's nice to have my friends around.
Now, what are your thoughts on that match in terms of just how you guys look to the approach you're looking to take to such a stacked field?
It's an amazing field. Leo St. Giovanni. He's an international and a national television star. He can do incredible things in the ring. Anthony Gangone is another innovator, and Matt McIntosh will smack you in the mouth and not apologize. And then you got Mike Law, who's all right. But the sex factor in the match is none other than myself, really good Ryan Zane. Now that throws a monkey wrench in everybody else's plans, because I have a mind unlike any of those individuals, and I also have my friend. Now you questioned my pursuit for the world title and how that's going to affect our tag team as well. You might have glazed over, but I just want to say that being in the Danger Family Sanctuary opens you up to every possible avenue. We could be multi-time, double champions. Anything that we want to achieve is now accomplishable, thanks to Timmy Danger.
Mm-hmm.
And no doubt in my mind, I've been studying the tape. I've been watching all 4 of these gentlemen, and I know where each of their weaknesses are. I'm not going to tell you on this broadcast. I'm not going to lay out my battle plan. That would be uncouth. A big word for professional wrestling. It just means dumb. You people might know that very well.
Now, LSG hasn't been around since the first show. He main evented with Preston Quinn and Logan Easton LaRoe. How has Capital Wrestling changed since that first show?
Capital Wrestling has found its character, its body, and quite frankly, its heart within me, if I may be so shrewd as to say. Mm-hmm. So while Leon St. Giovanni has been touring the United States with Ring of Honor, while he's been on television across the country, Capital Wrestling has been growing without him. We don't need his international television status because you've got really good Ryan Zane. You've got the kid Vinny Pacifico with the prospect of his return. You've got such talent that we don't need the rub from someone like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I plan to show him that his time away, and everyone else in the match, had no ill effect on me, had no ill effect on business. Because with a Ryan Zane victory, setting up a main event at the first year anniversary for the world title, we have guaranteed double our business. We'll probably have to move to a new venue, a bigger venue, with blackjack and beer.
Ryan.
Yes, Vincent.
Ryan, if you win the championship, are we still going to be a team? Or are you going to
Absolutely. We're going to use that momentum. When I win the Capital Wrestling World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship, we're going to take that momentum directly to the New York Wrecking Crew, directly to Matthew Ryan Shapiro. Those bastards, and they can call themselves that, but it doesn't take away from the fact that they are what they are. Those bastards are going to get theirs, and we going to give it to them, baby.
Oh, we are. We are.
Yeah. So Vinny,
so much confidence in you.
Vinny, in your opinion, Vinny, how has Capital Wrestling changed? We've heard from Ryan, but what do you think in terms of the evolution, the progression of Capital Wrestling, and the identity and all that?
In such a short amount of time, I think Capital Wrestling has grown beyond belief. So we started out, our first show was pretty packed, which was really crazy. It's the best, great start. It's a great start. And then second show is even more eyeballs. So I think that we had a great start for our first year, and for our next year, it'll be even bigger.
Now,
Capital Wrestling grows exponentially with each event. That's what my man's trying to say. Good wording, Vinny. You did some good words there. I'm proud of you.
You did some good words. There we go. Now, we've seen the poster work from Capital in the past, and it's always excellent. So, kudos to the production and design and, graphic design team right there. But this poster for World War IV, I mean, it's got a different color scheme, a whole different kind of vibe to it. I mean, each time we see a match page with the matchup, I mean, I love it. So what do you guys think about that?
It is a beautiful work of art. They somehow made Matthew Ryan Shapiro appear to be very attractive. I don't see it, though. They could have had a bit of easier work just putting my beautiful mug on that poster. However, I don't want to set the world on fire, and I'm not trying to blow up Capital Wrestling. So the message is clear.
And I mean, it definitely shows the details that the attention to detail, at least for Capital Wrestling, whether it's posters and all, and merchandise. That's just a way to separate themselves from the rest of the field.
Yeah, we really do stand out. We really do stand out. We've got an aesthetic. A lot of places don't have an aesthetic, don't have a brand. But when you look at a Capital Wrestling poster, you know exactly what you're getting into. It's a damn good time.
Oh, it's a very good time.
So at the last show, guys, we saw that huge tag team mayhem match you guys had, and it was Nyla Rose and also Ronnie Burton and Joey Ace took on Ryan, Timmy, and the third partner Stan Styles. So what was the dynamic like for you guys? What was the strategy in that match?
Well, they're a bunch of animals, and you got to go in full bore against a group of caged animals. We tried. Vincent was convinced. It took some cajoling. Tried to take care of Nyla Rose ahead of time. However, Nyla Rose, I don't know that she's a man nor a woman. She's simply a beast. Nyla Rose is a beast, and it was hard to contain her. Now, don't get me started on Sizzling Stan Styles' inability to focus on the wrestling match with what he perceived to be a beautiful woman in front of him. That's what cost us the victory. And it's a lack of focus like that. Vincent, I want you to go back and watch that match. And don't study him for his work. Don't study him for the good he did. Know note every mistake he made in his distraction. You're going to be laser focused when we get in the ring.
Yes, I will be.
You always are. You're a good boy.
I always are.
Now,
Thank you.
So we saw that, and we saw that we had Neil Sharkey, Portia Vaughn, and Vinny, yourself, out there. Does that feel like too many cooks in the kitchen?
No, it sounds like a war. Bodies strewn everywhere. Politicians pulling us, these war pigs telling us what to do, but we, the hungry warriors, are happy to do that. Too many chefs in the kitchen? No, this is the climate of Capital Wrestling. Everyone is vying for the top. Everyone is trying to politic their way into a better position, and that's all out in the open.
Mm-hmm. And Vinny, what were your thoughts on being out there with Portia and Neil?
It's crazy. I thought it was very, very just different. Hey, every show for Capital Wrestling, it's a good time. I'm telling you right now. It's scary sometimes because you never know what's going to happen, but it's always a learning experience to be out there and just do it.
We also saw that the results of that match. I mean, it was definitely a lot of chaos, honestly, and lots of fun to watch. Though at one point, the music was playing. Nyla's music was playing for quite some time. And actually, Vinny, did you notice that you were actually dancing to the music?
Was I really?
Yeah, it was so funny because you could tell it was subconscious, but it was just funny to watch you do that and kind of get into it.
This is why I want Vinny. This is why I want Vinny to start looking at his laser focus and start sharpening up. I know he can do it. Yeah, I know. But again, we're in the midst of a heated war. It wasn't a wrestling match. That was an all-out. That was a total battle. We destroyed the ring in that match.
Oh, we did. We held that ring.
No, we kind of had to. It's not that we didn't do anything bad. It's what we had to do. You understand that, right?
We could go by the rules, but I do get it. I do.
You'll understand. You'll get it. You'll follow.
I'm sure I will.
But so we did see that it was pretty chaos in the end of that match, and now you go from here, and obviously we've talked and touched on the 5-way match that you're in at the next show. What is and we've seen that Vinny's very supportive of you and looking to have you win the match. But what is Timmy? What does he think of your opportunity the next show?
Timmy is the guiding light and spirit in my life right now. Has been nothing but supportive. He has given me the keys. See, Timmy Danger knows that they're out there. He knows that they don't want me to do big wrestling moves. They don't want me to succeed, to excel, to get my name out there. They don't want me to do 360s in my jet ski. But we aren't listening to them anymore. I'm not listening to them. I listen to my mentor. I listen to my leader, Timmy Danger. He wants the Capital Wrestling World title in our stable. He wants us to share in that glory, in that victory. And he knows that this body, this mind, this soul is the vessel to carry that. And man, it just really warms and melts my heart to know that I matter that much to the movement.
Mm-hmm. And Vinny, how do you feel that you, what kind of similarities do you have with Timmy, and that makes you want to be under his wing?
Do you know the history of Timmy Danger and I? Because ever since I got into this business, I've had Timmy Danger at my back. He's been my advocate, he's been my friend, and he's helped steer the ship in this business. When I was a young whelp, and I was training down in Richmond, Virginia, getting ready to make waves in the wrestling business, like I do every time I'm out in the ring, it was Timmy Danger who taught me how to be confident, how to not take anybody's, caca, for lack of a better term. And it's continuing to this day. The absence of Timmy Danger in the years between has been honestly dismal. And now again, it's as though I've stepped into the world of Oz. Everything is colorful again. There's hope, there's meaning, there's a goal.
For you it's colorful. For me, I gotta find that color.
So, we don't want you to find that color because we don't want you bleeding all over the place.
Oh, hey, that's true.
No,
true.
But Vinny, what about your similarities with Timmy and being under his wing and learning from Timmy's learning tree?
It's different. It's not what I'm used to. I'm usually a fight fair kind of person, and he's not. So hey, he gave me the opportunity to finally learn different styles of wrestling. But hey, what are you gonna do?
I'll tell you
what?
I'll tell you one thing, Vinny, and one thing you're going to learn is to drop all your naivete. People in this wrestling business, they will chew you up, they will spit you out, and they will use you. But no. You have a home now, and we're not going to let that happen to you, and we're not going to let these games be played against you. And I know that you think it's unfair the way we play sometimes, but this world, this lifestyle of professional wrestling, it can be brutish and brutal and unfair. And you're going to be better coming out the other end of this.
We've seen a lot going on with the Capital Wrestling roster, whether it's tag team action or singles action. What are some of the teams or wrestlers that you guys want to face or interested in facing, with contrasting styles and all that, outside of just the fact that we have this matchup coming up? But what about just in general?
The New York Wrecking Crew.
What's that?
Go on.
Logan Black, LSG, and I gotta say, Chris Benoit.
No, that's a good lineup. That's a good lineup of dream matches in Capital Wrestling. And I want to lay mine out right away. The New York Wrecking Crew is number one on the list, Vincent. If we're going to succeed, if we're going to achieve, we need to go right for the head, right for the jugular. We need to go right for those belts. So the New York Wrecking Crew. I want to make an example out of those boys from Indiana, Cole Radrick and Sage Phillips, who like to hit hard and kick hard. We're just going to throw them around and embarrass them and send them back home. I want to make an example out of them. You know what? Maybe on our way to those titles, we should let the New York Wrecking Crew know we're coming.
We should. Let them know.
Absolutely. I wouldn't mind scrapping with that Radrick boy myself. Just slapping him around, letting people know. Letting people know what it is to be in the ring with Ryan Zane.
So we've seen Cole.
It's not really good for y'all.
We've seen Cole and Sage. They fight pretty fair, obviously. But when you have to fight against a team like the New York Wrecking Crew, and you've got Matthew Ryan Shapiro, would you look at Timmy to isolate him?
Oh, it's fire with fire. Now, I think, again, we do what we do best. We sit back, we review the tape. We look for their weaknesses, and what do? Capitalize at Capital Wrestling. Let's not say exploiting. Exploiting sounds very negative. And I'm not into that. We're just going to capitalize. That's the name of the game here at Capital Wrestling.
Now, at the last show, it got kicked off in an interesting fashion. We saw Ken Dixon named as the unofficial Capital Wrestling champion by Matthew Ryan Shapiro. What were your thoughts on that?
Well, sometimes you just need to be gifted things to feel good about yourselves. It's obvious that the group of the bastards don't have a high opinion of themselves. They don't feel very good. They needed to buy the world championship. And that's the kind of thing in this world I don't like. I don't like corporate and fiscal bullies who buy their way into nice positions, who can loan their money out to their families and make life easier for people who don't necessarily deserve it. Ken Dixon is one hell of an ass kicker. Trust me, I know, Vinny. So I have no doubt that he can defend that belt. I have no doubt that he's in the contention. But did he earn it? You got to ask yourself, how many times has someone passed you over? And maybe they haven't earned it. Maybe they haven't worked like you have, or just they haven't proven it themselves. I think everyone can relate to that story. We've got to topple.
That's true.
We've got to topple this kingdom of bastards.
So, Vinny, what do you think? John Kerman's his opponent at the next show. What do you think his chances are against Ken Dixon?
Okay, well, I've seen Ken Dixon firsthand. So it'll be a challenge. I'm actually going for Ryan Payton.
Yes, I did. Thank you for that, Vincent. No, we're going to work through that. Again, that's your naivete. And again, we're going to crack through. We're going to have a breakthrough.
But, I mean, Vinny, what kind of advantage does John Kerman have over a guy like Ken Dixon?
Now, Vinny, do you know John Kerman?
I've heard his work.
Now, I know John Kerman from working down south, down in Virginia. John Kerman could kill any man in an instant. He is a walking weapon. He's got his own history of violence that can be documented in the cages of mixed martial arts. I think his chances are better than most at Capital Wrestling to topple the king, to take the world title. He's got a unique style that Ken Dixon's not going to be familiar with. He's going to come at him from every angle with unique submission holds that are familiar to professional wrestling or comfortable to professional wrestling. He's going to use a striking offense that is unfamiliar to Ken Dixon. So it's going to be this nice dichotomy of a hybrid style against a classic rural ass kicker. It's going to be one of the best fights that Capital Wrestling's produced to date. But it does raise the question, is Ken Dixon worthy of holding the belts? And what is the caliber and quality of our world champion?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's Ken Dixon or John Kerman, I'll be happy to take the belt from either man.
And Vinny, do you agree with that sentiment?
I do, because
That's a good point.
Ken Dixon, to test Ken Dixon as champion, probably his biggest challenge yet.
So
Will he win?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be I think it's a very, very dynamic matchup. I've got a chance to see both of those guys down here at Nova Pro, and they both will pose challenges for each other. So I can't wait to see how they mix it up. You know, like you said, he's a walking weapon. Ken Dixon's got the history of violence. He's got the bastards on his side. Anytime you got Paul Jourdain over your shoulder, that's a good guy to have on your side. So, but we're also going to have
not necessarily over your shoulder, as I found out. Man, both of those guys put me through hell, eh?
Yeah, I guess you've had your run-ins with them, and I'm sure, like you said, at some point in the future you'll get to face the New York Wrecking Crew. But we're also going to have the Packy Chip Death Match. Now, the Packy Chip, if you don't know about this, guys, or people listening to the show right now, is a very spicy chip. I don't know the degree of it specifically, but I know as one who doesn't like spicy things, I would never try it in my life because I don't want to die. But I saw, Matt Sells, Smiley, and a few others trying it recently. Ryan, were you trying it as well in that video for Capital Wrestling?
I was the one that I can't believe you did this, Sean. Forgot I was in the video. Yes, you can see me on Jeff Cannonball's flaming table, eating a packy chips, because I know no fear any longer since I've joined the Danger Pit. These things are fine to me. I know that my mortal coil will survive a tortilla chip. However, the video does kind of speak for itself. So to the loser of that match, that is a great misfortune. You're going to have someone who has worked their butt off to try to win a wrestling match. They're going to be a little thirsty, very sweaty, very exhausted, and I think the intensity of that flavor is going to be magnified by the violence carried out in the ring.
So as somebody who has tried the chip himself, and like you said, you're above the mortal coil, how many chips of those could you eat if you had the opportunity?
None.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it again. I'll tell you, publicity's cool, but drinking water out of a kitchen hose, it gets annoying. And I gotta tell you, no customs bookings came out of that, despite my request. I'm going out there looking for a bear. I'm just trying to make some money, God.
Vinny, so you have no desire to have a Packy chip?
I might, actually. It looks pretty good.
Do you like spicy foods in general?
I love it. And I feel like I probably fail at the challenge, but it does sound tempting.
Vinny, you've got to attest to your own iron will. I think you could do just fine. I believe in you. I have faith in you. You are good. You are my brother. You are my son. I love you. You could do that. You could do anything you set your mind to. Never doubt yourself again, Vinny Pacifico.
Yeah.
Now, as one who has seen the Flaming Table with Jeff Cannonball in multiple episodes, I mean, that guy has eaten some spicy stuff, so I think he does hold some sort of advantage over Logan Black, but we also know Logan Black himself is a very death-defying kind of guy, daredevil himself. He did come up short against Juba at the last show, but man, he took a beating, and it was very impressive. So that's just going to be, once again, a really fun matchup to watch. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go down specifically, but one can wonder. I would actually really mark out if they had a Packy chip, kind of like the barbed wire board, but they put it all with chips, and he got scoop slammed into it just for the hell of it.
Sean O'Brien, you're sick in the head.
I
You
am
are sick in the head.
I'm vile. I'm giving CZW ideas.
Goodness. Don't get me started on that ultra violence. That is enough. Now, you have two men in that package death match with incredibly high pain tolerances, which is important for professional wrestling, but they exceed the average bear. So you're going to see two people punish each other throughout the night in ways that others wouldn't even imagine or couldn't even conceive surviving.
And we're also going to see match 0, Matthias Glass, versus Jason Sinclair. That's going to be definitely a one that's going to get the show off on a right start. What do you guys think about that matchup?
I love Matthias Glass. Well, hi, I'm good, sir. You need something spicier than a chip to begin a professional wrestling event, and I think those two men are going to deliver. Don't peel your eyes away when you're there for match 0. Just because it's called match 0 doesn't mean it's any less valuable than any of the matches on the show. In fact, it might be the most important match on any given night.
Well, I heard.
True.
I heard it has 0 calories, so that's good too.
The chip?
The match.
Get in the game, Sean. Good God.
Good God. I'm trying to get in the game, guys. I'm on the bench here, but we're also going to see the Master of Excellence make his debut versus Wildman Congo, and that Master of Excellence is actually Preston Quinn, but he's changed his persona a little bit, put the mask on, and much to Bo Crockett's chagrin. So Wildman Congo's making his debut, and he's looking to make a mark here at Capital Wrestling. That's going to be a battle of hosses.
It sure is. I've been in the ring with Wildman Congo before, and it is always a test. You're always just trying to survive. Again, much like our match last month, it is being in there with a wild beast and an animal. You cannot predict. You cannot really come up with much of a game plan. You just have to train. You have to hope that you make the right move to survive. You have to hope that you can hit him hard enough to knock him off his feet. The Wildman Congo does not leave his feet, lest it is to squash you with his humongous belly. And Preston Quinn, good God, man, when I got into the business, Preston Quinn was getting up there. And experience, let's call it experience. But it took DJ Hyde lariating him to knock something loose. And now, oh my God, the Master of Excellence. I feel like he's throwing away what was once a very good reputation and name in Preston Quinn, and then something must be wrong with his brain. I never hope for anything good for a group named the NRA, for wrestling or for rifles, but I hope that Bo can maybe work some sense back into a once great and fearsome competitor. Unless the Master of Excellence starts doing 630s, in which case, go for it, Hoff. Do that ish. Show him what the difference is between a Hurricane Rana and a head scissors.
Ish. We're going to see what those two guys can bring, and also we're going to have the other announced tag team match. The Memphis Mofo and Bo Crockett representing the NRA taking on Isaiah Wolf and good-looking Hank Flanders. Now, we got to see Isaiah Wolf and Hank Flanders, and they lost in handicap action to Jason Karloff at the last show. A guy that really you don't want to mess with. That guy is a strong dude. But the Memphis Mofo and Bo...
That man is a nightmare.
Yeah, he is an absolute nightmare. But Memphis Mofo and Bo Crockett with a hell of chemistry. Mofo will be looking to step foot in the ring as an active competitor. Last time we saw him in street clothes. So what do you guys think about that tag team matchup and potential opponents for you in the future?
Despite how I feel about the politics of the National Wrestling Alliance, they have something that we also possess, which is a brain, which is a mind, the ability to move around that ring with purpose and intent, violent intent. Bo Crockett has been making one hell of a name for himself over the past couple of years. And the Memphis Mofo has a strike like no other. He has a Fargo toe hold that will have you begging for your mother. I couldn't imagine the two of them on one side of the ring. But I have to. I have to imagine that possibility, Vincent. So what I'm going to do when the time comes is I'm going to learn you up on these two individuals. We're going to see.
Okay.
We're going to find, and it's going to be fewer than a lot of the other teams, but we're going to find the holes in their game, and we're going to, you said exploit. No. What do we do, Vinny?
No. The cat, we're going to...
You got it? It's on the tip of your tongue. We're going to...
It is. We're going to...
I'll give you this one.
No.
Catapult? No. Oh. Well, capitalize, Vinny. We're going to capitalize.
Capitalize. Dang it.
That's it. You should put it down in your wrestling notebook. Just eat up a page.
Now, Vinny, what do you think about Isaiah Wolf and Hank Flanders? We didn't get to see much of them because the match with Jason Karloff was so short. But what do you think about them as a a pretty much fresh tag team in Capital Wrestling?
Crazy. Isaiah Wolf, I have trained with him before, and I wrestled him before, and he will exploit you. Hey, that's what's real.
You know what?
He will exploit all of you. What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to have to keep an eye out for that in the future, but please continue. This is helpful knowledge to your brother.
The problem. He will exploit all your overalls. He will find it, he will capitalize on it, and he will
capitalize.
Be a wolf. That he is.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see how they will look in extended tag team action. But I mean, that's going to be one hell of a card, and it's going to be headlined by the matchup. I believe it's going to be headlined by that 5-way matchup, unless I'm mistaken. But maybe they.
You know, when you've got a name like Ryan Zane out there, is there any other position? Is there any other space on the card than the main event? I mean, if you really want to get your dollars worth, if you want to keep them sitting, before intermission, before the final bell, you put Ryan Zane on last because it's really good. You want to give him really good quality professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
Now, who do you...
And, Anthony Gangone and LSG and Mike Law and Matt McIntosh, they're all right, too.
Now, the one...
they're good. They're good even. They're good. I'm just really good.
Are you really good? I think so.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Now, we will have the Bastards in action. Obviously, Matthew Ryan Shapiro making his debut. What do you guys think about Matthew Ryan Shapiro stepping in the ring?
A step, we might see him tumble, we might see him roll into the ring. Who is Matthew Ryan Shapiro supposed to be intimidating or frightening?
I don't know.
Or harming in a professional wrestling ring? I just want to make sure that Matthew Ryan Shapiro doesn't forget his wristwatch heart monitor when he gets in there, just so he knows when he's got to apply that chin lock and take a breath.
And now, which that also begs the question. Now we know that the Bastards will be on one side with Ken, but then on the other side, who do you think will be on Team Capital?
I mean, you got top tier talent like myself who's already busy, so it's tough to say. Team Capital. I would venture a guess, and this is just a guess, of at least one man who really does shine bright like a diamond. Originally you might have heard that as, yes, you might have originally heard that as shine bright like a diamond. No, he shines bright like a diamond, and that's Sonny Kiss. I don't know what it is about him. I just can't look away when he's in that ring. He's an incredible athlete.
He is. You were not wrong about that one.
Now, who else do you think will be on Team Capital, Vinny?
Possibly Cole Radrick. Hell of a talent.
There's potential for that. He is a good sweat boy. That is true.
Now,
I would say Jason Karloff might even be a good vote for the Capital team. I know I sure would want him on my team because it means he's not creeping behind me, ready to toss me through a wall.
Now, and I think there's one tag team you guys are forgetting about right now, and that's the Perfect Strangers.
Oh, those boys.
Yeah.
That's a valid point. I think you could see any combination of those 5 gentlemen or more. Maybe, anything can happen at Capital Wrestling. We aren't going to give you all of our trade secrets away up front, so it might be a surprise entrant. It might be someone you were never expecting, but do know very well.
That's a good point. You never know what to expect at Capital Wrestling shows, but you will. The one thing you do know to expect is a good show in general. So we can't wait to see what happens with all those matches we've just discussed. We can't wait to see what happens in your main event matchup, and Vinny, how you'll be there to support Ryan. Before we get out of here, guys, do you have any plugs, any merchandise, any social media, and upcoming shows?
Vincent, take it away first.
All right. Facebook, Vinny Pacifico. Instagram at Vinny Pacifico, Twitter, Vinny Pacifico 1, and that would be it. I have 2 t-shirts, $15 a piece, and I have 8x10. That's my merch.
Booyah.
material possessions of this world. I do not need to propagate my own ego with likes, with furthered likes on Instagram, with glorification of my pictures. All I need is a platform, is a way to prophesize my future. So you can find me on Twitter at WrestleRye, at WRESTLE, just like it is on the marquee, RY, main event slot.
Now, where can we see you guys before Capital Wrestling? Is there any events you guys will be a part of coming up?
The comeback will be soon.
Now, what's that?
The comeback will be soon. Be on the lookout for that.
We're not sure where he's going to show up in in-ring action, but Vinny Pacifico, at some point, with the way he's healing up, guys, he is going to be in that ring and better than ever. So we're not sure when or where he's going to show up, but we are looking forward to it.
The people can look out on Vinny Pacifico's Twitter page, on my own, because I'll be out there supporting my boy, the kid, the moist pony, letting everyone know when the Pacific comeback's going to be. So you just keep your eyes peeled for that. Now, myself, you can see me every Wednesday down at the CZW Dojo making a fool of, I don't know, somebody, anybody really. It's kind of a wash when I get in there. Otherwise, my main focus is still Capital Wrestling. God, gotta love it. Now, if you want to see all this goodness, this really goodness, and you want to hear this voice on your microphone in your ring, you just find thank you, brother. You just find me on that Twitter machine. You email me at ryanzanewrestling@gmail.com, and we'll talk about my rates.
You can even fax him, guys.
If you really want those dank hip points, you'll send a carrier pigeon. That's how I know you're dealing in serious business.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
And that's because that's an excellent idea.
Thank you. You're correct.
Now, guys, it's been a real absolute pleasure to have you both on here at the same time. And, Vinny, we're going to look to see you. Of course it has. And, Vinny, we're going to look to see you get in the ring sooner rather than later. But you're going to be there for Ryan, and we can't wait to watch that on December 29th. A really hell of a card we have lined up there for you guys. So, once again, guys, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you very much for having us.
And you're very welcome.
And that's going to do it, everyone, for the episode 36 of the Capital Wrestling Podcast. I want to thank Ryan and Vinny for stopping by. Really fun to get to talk to both of them. And just a reminder, guys, December 29th, that show is coming up. Capital Wrestling Presents World War IV. Get your tickets now. Go to Groupon.com, tinyurl.com/CapitalWW4, BrownPaperTickets.com. And also, once again, that chance to win tickets. Just design a Capital Wrestling Superstar on WWE 2K18. Tweet them to Capital Wrestling without the G. Email them to capitalwrestling@gmail.com. Check us out Monday nights via GFQlive.tv and Twitch. We'll be live streaming our next show on December 29th from the Hopes Community Center in Hoboken, New Jersey. Every Wednesday afternoon, this podcast is available on YouTube. Just search Capital Wrestling. Go to soundcloud.com/LTorsPodcast. Email the company at capitalwrestling@gmail.com for any sponsorship opportunities, talent inquiries, and much, much more. And if you want to check out our merchandise, go to prowrestlingtees.com, whatamaneuver.net, and now on Amazon. Go to tinyurl.com/capitalamazon. You're not going to want to miss our next show coming up December 29th. We're going to have plenty of great guests next week. We're going to have LSG. Can't wait to talk to him about his role in that five-way dance, his return to Capital Wrestling since March, and what's going on in Ring of Honor with him. So lots to get to with LSG. Can't wait to talk to him. We'll see him here next week on the Capital Wrestling Podcast. And thank you all for listening